Hello ladies and gents, another video brought to you by Ant Hood. And today's video is about my myrmecocystus, mimicus, my honeypot ants. This is not going well, and I'll explain all in a second. If you remember back in my last video, I said that I was keeping these at 25 degrees when everybody else recommends they like the high 20s to 30 degrees. And I'm only keeping them at 25. Now I'll put a link in the top right corner now for that video, but believe it or not, that's not the issue that I've got. So if we look back at a clip from the last video, she is in the test tube here, but you'll see she has got a small clutch of eggs, I'll talk about it in a second, but she's also got like 8 pupae. So she's got 8 workers coming soon. Now, I ended up moving her out of this test tube because there was just no water in there, and I was reassured that the tubs, they do really well in them, so I did move her into the tubs. I tried to get those eggs out intact and I failed miserably. It was an absolute disaster. I passed this on to Ant Antics just to give them the heads up about it. I tried everything to get those eggs out and I couldn't do it. So basically she had to start again with the eggs, but she had enough pupae, so enough workers coming that I wasn't overly concerned. So like I said, 8 pupae. What you'll notice now is there is only 4 workers. When I checked these and I fed these at the weekend, I think it was in my live stream, I had a lot more workers than what I've currently got. The issue that I'm finding is that the workers are dying, and I think it's because they're in this tub, because I haven't got a defined area where the food is to where the nest area is, and I'm having to stick it in here, as you can see some resemblance of what's there. And it's a big concern for me because I actually had about another 2 pupae after that, I believe it was, and they were, so I had about 8 to 10 workers, and I've only got 4 left, I think it is. That isn't good. Now, if you look to the left of this image now, and I will get some better footage in a second, there is an absolute ton of larvae in various stages. There isn't any fresh eggs. When I got the macro lens in there to have a look, there's no fresh eggs, but there's plenty of larvae there. So she is doing really well, and 25 degrees is clearly working for her because she's doing absolutely fine. Believe it or not, there is actually 29 larvae here, so she's due for a big boom in numbers. But if I keep them in this pod, the workers are invariably going to die off, be it because they're drowning in the water, in the food that I have to give them, such as the liquids and stuff, which I haven't observed yet, but it could be a thing why the workers are dying off. But as you guys know, I have got a setup on order, and it's this Antboy UK honeypot setup, but unfortunately due to personal circumstances, Antboy's not been able to ship this to me. So for the past 3 months since I've ordered this, 2 months I think, I ordered at the start of November, so yeah, coming into 2.5 months, 3 months, this still hasn't arrived. And I think that's starting to have a detrimental effect on my honeypot workers. Now I do have spare nests, but I can't just put them in there because they need a cave-like nest set up like this, because the repletes, which is overfed workers, so their abdomens swell up to like huge sizes like grapes, they need to hang from ceilings. So I desperately need this set up to settle them down, to separate the food from the nest area, and probably put some proper liquid feeders in the outworld as well, so I don't run the risk of them drowning. But unfortunately I can't because I haven't got it yet. I have messaged Antboy, so hopefully this will get to us soon because I need it quite desperately, and next week I'm away for a week on holiday, so crumbs. So essentially at the moment I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. I've got no option but to use this setup for now because it's the only thing, closest thing I've got to anything appropriate for them. I don't want to move them into a test tube yet, not that that would be beneficial at all, and not only that though, I've got a lot of small larvae there as well, so trying to move these out of this into a test tube will be nigh on impossible, because when you get them in a setup like this, what you tend to do is drop them into the outworld, so then they find the nest area, move everything into the nest area. That's how I've seen it done previously on YouTube, and it's probably the only method that I'm going to be able to utilise to get them out of here into the new setup that they've got. So literally I'm stuck. There is nothing I can do with these. They, like I said, they had about 10 workers and now they've only got 4 left. Situation is very dire for me and these honey pots. Considering the amount of money you invest in buying honey pots, the situation is rubbish. Yes, I've ordered it. Yes, I ordered an outworld months ago and it's not arrived. It is an outworld, a nest as well. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. I just have to hope, fingers crossed, that it comes soon, because if it doesn't, then I think I'm going to lose this Connolly. You may be asking me, why have I left it so late to raise this issue? Well, because I didn't know it was an issue. I had noticed some workers had died, but I just thought, hey ho, it is what it is. But to see such a dramatic reduction, considering last week when I did, or the other week when I did my live stream, and I only fed these at the start of the week as well, and the workers have died, I didn't know about it. So, and I'm stuck yet again, like I said, stuck between a rock and a hard place. I've got to wait for the Ant Boy setup to arrive. I've only got literally 5 days until I'm then going off on holiday, so I literally can't order it as like an AliExpress nest or something like that might be suitable short term for these guys, because it wouldn't arrive in time. I am literally, hands are tied, don't know what to do, don't know how to get out of this situation with the time frames that I've got, and at the point that my nest that I originally ordered hasn't turned up yet. I don't know what to do. I'm literally stumped is the word I was looking for, sorry guys, stumped. I really don't know what I'm going to do, and I'm worried. This queen is clearly a strong queen, she's clearly doing well. Look at all the larvae there, she's really doing really good, a lot better than my last queen when I got them. So this is my second attempt, and I'm worried I'm going to lose her again, and for circumstances that are completely out of my control. If you guys have got any suggestions for me with what I can do, yes, you could argue here that this dollop of liquid is probably a bit too big for them, but it's where they're getting their water and the sweet stuff from, so they do drink quite a fair bit of it, and I do leave them. These guys are very sensitive in the foundation stage, so you kind of need to leave them alone. So I leave them on my shelf and I don't disturb them till they're due for a feed in the following week. I leave them alone for about a week. It's obviously works because the queen's laid a ton of eggs and a ton of larvae, so it's the way to go. And I've also, when I watched it was the Hollenfer's podcast on these guys, it was advised you leave them be. So yeah, I leave them alone. Disaster, I've lost a load of workers, but like I said, I don't know what to do. I am stuck. I really don't like being in this situation where I'm literally stumped with what to do, because there's nothing I can do about it, and it's frustrating. Normally when I have come against issues with ants, I normally can find something to remedy it, like get a new nest, get a new outworld, whatever it is, apart from my Solenopsis, they're just nightmares. But you see my point now I'm making, you normally can do something, but I physically can't. And because I've only noticed this issue like today, I can't go off and get another nest like I said before. I am literally stuck and I don't know what to do, and it's frustrating me. As you can probably tell by my voice and how quickly I'm speaking, I just don't know what to do. I'm going to leave it to you guys. I'm open to suggestions, but other than that, I've got nothing else to report. Like I said guys, it's going to be a short video because it's just come to my attention. I even said to somebody last night that I got like 10 workers and I was really chuffed. But yeah, so I don't know what else to say, so I'm just going to leave it there. Yeah, I don't know what to do.